Hello guys, Jontti here with some more My Summer Car, and today we are going to build the... my milk is all over the place again. We're gonna build the engine. So on a side note here, I am slightly drunk at the moment in real life. I was invited by a friend to go out and have a couple of beers and meet her new boyfriend. Yeah, friend zone all the way. Or as you could say, as I'm sure many will say. But slightly drunk. The problem is I would not be actually recording anything tonight if it wasn't so that the fucking boyfriend was a douche and got thrown out before even midnight. So I'm back here now recording, and I see my freaking brake fluid is all over the place. I stacked them so nicely. God damn it. The game doesn't want you to have anything nice. But anyways, so instead of being out drinking, I'm now here with you playing some My Summer Car. And honestly, that's not such a bad trade, because I really like this game. Alright, so let's start on an engine. We have our tools right over here. I'm gonna put that to the side. Or actually I should maybe have them over here. Let's open that up. And first stage of building an engine, and of course getting the engine block and turning it around. Perfect, like that. Next up we are gonna be installing the crankshaft. Right there. And it just locks beautifully in place. So, then we need the main bearings to attach the crankshaft to the engine block. Let's see, right there. And let's take main bearing number 2. Place that right there. And next up, number 3, like that. So then let's grab a wrench. I think it's that one. Perfect. And let's attach these things. There we go. So next up we will do the camshaft. Let's see where it is. There. These are quite small. Let's see. Maybe it's that. No, not that one. That one. Ah, not that one. Is it the smallest one? Yes. So since the last video, I discovered that my noise gate on my microphone wasn't really that good. It was picking up a lot of sounds from my keyboard and stuff, so I turned it up a little bit, so hopefully it won't cause too much problems. So I think the next step would be to put in the pistons. So I'll turn it around because it's easier to put in the pistons from that direction. So we'll start with piston number 1. Let's see. There we go. Just put these all in. There we go. And then we'll turn the whole thing around, and let's say these are number 7. Oh yeah, they are number 7. Beautiful. So now we're gonna turn this around, and we're gonna grab our head gasket. Yeah. And next up we just put the cylinder head on. Like that. And those are... oh, I actually have the right one. That's perfect. Okay, so now we have the phone ringing, so let's go and answer the phone.
Hey, that door's
Okay, so that was a sewage well mission, that's over there. Might wanna get a few of those before we go and do anything, so let's get back to our engine. Alright, so next up I'm gonna put on the headers, because that way I'll be able to put it on a crane later on, which I want to do. So those are slightly bigger. What's that? Oh, 9. I want 9. I think. No? Are they 8 maybe? 8 seems like a match. There are 2 bolts with edge parts. Okay, so let me turn this engine around. I'm gonna try and line it up so I can get, oh, like that. So you see one of the parts there where the attachment goes and the other one is on the headers. So now I can finally put my engine up on the motor hoist. Perfect. Don't have the right one. Are those not 11? 10. Come on, give me number 10. They're not 10. Let's go for 7. 8. Didn't I start with 8? Let's try 11. What size are those? Okay, they were 10. And then we screw those both in, and now the engine snaps into place for the hoist, and then let's pull the hoist out. Ah, perfect. Now it's much easier to work on the engine. So what should I put on next? I think I'm gonna put on the rocker shafts. Those are those 9 maybe? Come on. Let's try with 8. Bingo. Alright, so those are now attached. So what should I put on next? I wanna leave the rocker cover for last because I need to tune these valves, but I want to get everything else done before that. So I think yeah, let's put on the side stuff. So let's start with the camshaft gear on this side. That is, if I don't remember wrongly, it was number 10. Perfect. Oh, so that's so. Next up, we take the timing chain. Put that on. No need any screws. And next up, we want to cover those up with the timing cover. Just like that. And I think we need a smaller spanner. So let's go to 7. No, not 7. Is it 8 then? Okay, let's try with 6. Perfect. Alright, so let's go to the crankshaft pulley. That is an 11. I would say, yeah. It is 11. Okay, so we're gonna put on the water pump next. Right there. Those are 7 or 8, I would say. Let's go with 7. Perfect. Next up, we're gonna go with the pulley of the water pump. So, oh, sorry. Where did it go? Oh, it went into the motor hoist. That's brilliant. So, like that. Perfect. So now we want to put in the alternator. Right there. And up there we have the right size immediately. That's perfect. I think there's a... Yeah, that one is bigger, so let's grab a... Let's try with a 10. Beautiful. Now comes the fan belt. Before you attach the last screw on that, you need to put the fan belt on. So now comes a little bit of tutorial here. So we want to grab the screwdriver. And then we want to... Okay, let's see. Where is it? I want that hand thing. There. So now I want to pull this alternator out all I can, as much as I can. Okay, there it stopped. Then I'm gonna grab the screwdriver and attach it. So you need that to be tight, the whole belt. Otherwise it won't work properly. So I think that's this side pretty much done. So we'll grab the engine plate, because that's the first thing that's going on the other side. Engine plate like that, no screws on that. Next up we want to put on the flywheel. And we want to grab a 6mm spanner. No, it's not 6. I grabbed 8. I know it's not 8. It has to be 7. 8 would be too big for those. Perfect. So, excuse me for one moment as I go to the toilet. Alright, had to go for a quick toilet break. Lost some time, but we should make it back. So, let's assemble the clutch. So, we'll take this piece, the cover plate, and then I'll put the clutch disc on there, and take the pressure plate and put that, oh sorry, like that. Then we want to grab the cover plate, turn it around, and attach it like that. Then we want to go one spanner down to 6 and put it together. Beautiful. So, I think I'm gonna place the starter on next, because it goes right here. And those screws are these 7 maybe? Can't really remember. Yeah, 7. There's one there, and then there's one behind. Right there. Going inside the engine. Because that's what you can do. So let's put in the spark plugs actually. Come on. So there. Spark plug 2. Attached. 3. And 4. So those are attached by hand. No tools needed. In real life you would need tools to attach spark plugs, but in this game it's enough to just screw them in by hand. Next up we wanna take the distributor and put that in the hole over there, like that. No, that's a very small bolt, but I think it's 6. Yep, it's a 6. Okay, next up, what should I do next? Let's put the carburetor on. Okay, not there. What are those? Those are maybe 8 or 9, I would guess. So let's try 8. Yep. No, that's the headers. But yeah, okay. This one is the same. There's one with the header. Yeah, there's one on the side. Right there. And I also there's one more here. And one more on the underside there is. Okay, so the carburetor is on. Next we want to... You know, let's just put on the oil filter. It's quick and easy. Just put it there and screw it in by hand. Okay, I think it's time to attach the underside. So let's put on, first we want to start with the oil pan. Like that, and I would say that is, those are not that large. Let's try 7. 7 is correct. So there are 4 inside. And 1 there. Alright, then there is the oil plug, and I would say that's a 13 or 11. Let's try 13. 13 is correct, so there's the oil plug and it's shut up. Alright, so next up I'm gonna grab the gearbox and put that on. Come on. There we go. So the gearbox is attached with, I think, number 8 bolts. Is it 7 then? Yeah. Okay, so now we have this big one on the underside, and if I'm not mistaken, that would be size 10, and it is. So the gearbox is on, so now we want to grab the drive gear and put that in the side, and those bolts are they also 7 maybe? No, let's grab number 6 then. Yeah, generally the engine parts, except for those really big ones, number 10 I'm talking about, are really in the smaller range. You'll only find those bigger bolts on the chassis when you're assembling stuff. And 1 there. Okay, then that's attached, so the engine is starting to look really good right now. So let's see, we have the rocker cover, and then here is something that will go into the chassis. So I would say let's put on the fuel pump. It's right there. 7, I would guess. No, we have 7, so let's, or 6. So let's try with 5. I think that's too small, yeah. Let's go with 7. That should be the correct one. Yep. 7 or 6 most bolts in the engine. Okay, it's starting to look good actually. I'm just gonna put the electrics on. Somewhere. So this looks a little bit weird. You would normally just put on that once you get it into the car. As you see, those screws will go into the car. But still, we can put them on already so we don't forget them later on. So those are the only 2 screws you need to screw in the car once you get the engine down there. So now we are going to tune the valves. And I hope I remember how to do that correctly. So let's start by taking the screwdriver. This is something people often forget, and your engine will fuck itself if you don't do this. So you see, those screws here, they don't light up when you market them. But what you want to do is you want to scroll down 18 times and then scroll 7 times up on all these valves. So let's start with the first one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And then you want to screw them back 7 times upwards on your scroll key. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I'm gonna do it on all the other parts, on all the other valves. So We're gonna speed this up. Alright, so now all the valves are tuned. So then we'll put on the rocker cover. And those are 7. They are. The rocker cover is on. And yeah, let's finish the engine up with the air filter. And that is number 6. And there we go. That's the engine done. It's tuned and everything. Still gonna work on the carburetor later on, but I really fucking hate that thing. It's really difficult. So we're gonna wrestle that task later on. But the engine is pretty much done. And we're not gonna be filling up on any fluids before we get the engine into the car. So first of all, we're gonna need to eat some food and drink.